Being born in a vegetarian family made this woman never eat any meat from the time of her birth. When she got older, she was accidentally forced to try the delicacy of meat, and this is what happens when a vegetarian from birth ends up eating meat. Justin, a woman who was born in a family that has practiced strict vegetarianism for decades, and that makes Justin forbidden to eat any meat from birth. Justin recently graduated as a student at the veterinary university, and now she will be in the campus halls for the study orientation and campus introductory programs. On her first day on campus, Justin suddenly was approached by a man named Adrian in her room. Justin was shocked because she didn't realize that the man was her roommate. Suddenly, a group of masked people came to Justin's room. Then they told Justin and Adrian to come out of her room to gather with other new students. As it turned out, they were all directed to a secret room in the underground campus to participate in a secret party held by senior students. Justin, who is an innocent student, doesn't know what to do there, and accidentally she meets her own sister named Alexia, who is a senior student at the campus. Long story short, after the night of the party ended, the next day, the first day of orientation, was held. The event was opened by the singing of the seniors. Then the new students who were lining up suddenly splashed with the blood of a horse that had been killed by their seniors at the party last night. The orientation was continued by instructing the new students to eat raw rabbit kidneys, and spontaneously Justin, who is a vegetarian, refused to obey her seniors' orders. She tried to convince her seniors that she is a vegetarian by calling her sister, who is also a member of the Senate. However, instead of getting a defense from her sister told her to keep eating the rabbit kidney just at that time, and finally Justin could only surrender and eat the rabbit kidney. At night, when Justin fell asleep, she felt itching all over her body, and after she checked her body, there were lots of red spots all over Justin's body. Because of that, the next day Justin came to the campus clinic to check her condition, and the doctor said, if Justin has allergies, which is most likely caused by the rabbit kidney she ate yesterday. Besides itching, Justin also said, if she also feels hungry, and feels her stomach is always empty after eating the rabbit's kidneys. The next day Justin and Adrian were in the cafeteria for breakfast. Strangely, Justin, who is a vegetarian, secretly stole a meat menu in the canteen. Since then, Justin began to like meat. Moreover, she seems to be addicted to eating meat. However, unlike people in general, Justin not only likes eating meat that is ripe, but she also really enjoys eating raw meat. Another oddity began to emerge. When Justin was summoned by her lecturer, she unconsciously ate her own hair, to the point that she vomited the hairs she had eaten earlier in the bathroom. The next strange incident arises when Justin's sister wants to shave off the hair on her younger sister's body, including her Miss V's, where Justin accidentally cuts off her sister's finger, due to being hit by the scissors her sister is holding. And when Justin was waiting for help to come, she actually ate her sister's severed finger, and Alexia, who had just woken up after fainting, was shocked to see his sister's strange behavior. Justin's sister, who had received help, was taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, in another place, Justin was regretting what she had just done. The next day Justin and her sister went to a place on the side of the road. When a car with high speed was passing, Alexia suddenly ran into the middle of the road, which made the driver startled and swerved until the car hit a tree. The driver and passenger in the car died, and to her surprise, Alexia came to the victims, not to save them, but to eat the bodies of the victims. From here it is known that in fact Alexia is also the same as Justin, where she has an oddity, where she is very obsessed with eating any meat, including human flesh. Day by day, Justin's obsession with meat got worse, to the point that she desperately wanted to eat human flesh. She really wanted to enjoy Adrian's meat so much that Justin's nose had a nosebleed. Then when Justin was forced by her senior to make out with a male student, the man suddenly screamed in pain and ran out of the room. As it turned out, Justin bit the man's mouth until it was torn, and worse, Justin brought the torn man's mouth to the bathroom while she was washing herself. After finishing the shower, Justin immediately made love to Adrian in their room. Justin, who really wanted to enjoy Adrian's meat, tried to hold her lust by biting her own hand until it bled. Justin's crazy obsession with meat continues at a party event in the basement of the campus, where at the party Justin looks like an animal thirsty for meat, and the incident made people start afraid to get close to Justin. Justin's sister had the heart to reveal her own sister's disgrace at the party, so that people on campus became afraid of Justin. Justin, who was annoyed with her sister, immediately looked for her in the campus yard, and they both quarreled, biting each other's flesh, until they were both injured. But after that incident they both immediately reconciled, they treated each other. A trumpet sounded, which meant the new student orientation activity had ended. But Justin was still fall asleep in her room with Adrian. When Justin was about to wake Adrian, she was surprised to see a lot of blood from Adrian's legs, besides that there was blood coming out of Adrian's mouth, which indicated that Adrian was no longer alive. Justin thought that she could not control himself to eat Adrian's meat at night, but after she walked to the other side of the room, she found her sister who was sitting playing the PlayStation, but with a mouth full of blood. That means that it was not Justin who caused Adrian to die, but her sister who had eaten Adrian to death. Because of her actions, Justin's sister was finally imprisoned, and Justin, who loved her sister, had to part with her sister. After the incident, Justin was sent home to her parents' house, and was no longer allowed to study. At home, she returned to being a strict vegetarian, who could not eat meat at all. Justin's father then said to Justin that what she and her sister did was not purely the fault of the two of them, because actually Justin's mother also has the same characteristics as both of them, having a crazy obsession with any meat, until finally she met Justin's father, who could fully understand her mother's condition. As proof, her father also showed the stick marks on his lips, which were caused by her mother. In addition, her father showed scars on his body, which were caused by her own wife's bites. And this is the end of this film. I hope this film can be a recommendation for a movie for you to watch, especially for you psychopath-themed movie lovers. Don't forget to like, share, and follow or subscribe to this channel, so that you continue to get recommendations for other exciting films.